Guten Erev Shabbos Kodesh, Parshas Behaloscha, Tavshin Ches 5778 from Yerushalayim Mir HaKodesh. It was very interesting this week. I was learning with my chavrusa, Hillel, and came across a pasuk. I don't know why. We looked at this pasuk and said, there's something much deeper going on here. There were these people that said to Moshe Rabbeinu, okay, what did they say? They said, Anachnu temeim lenefesh adam. We are tamei to people. Loma nigara. Why should we lose out? Levilti hakar this carbon Hashem. To bring the carbon of Hashem b'mayada in its proper time, b'soich b'nei Yisrael, with the nation of Klal Yisrael. Who are these people? Who died? Who died? And there was telling this. So, and they're coming to measure. Gemara says in Sukkah Daf Chaf Hey, right? It's talking about Isaac b'mitzvah pater and a mitzvah. Brings down this pasuk. Vayinashim asher hayu temeim lenefesh adam. Osam anashim mihu. Who were these people? Asked the Gemara. Noise arayna shel Yosef hayu. The ones who were carrying the Atzmais Yosef from Mitzrayim and bringing them to Eretz Yisrael. That's who this was. Divrei Rabbi Yossi HaGalili. These are the words of Rabbi Yossi HaGalili. And on the top of Amud Beis, Rabbi Akiva Omer that it was not that it wasn't the ones carrying the Atzmais Yosef. Rather, it was Mishol ve'Eltzafin Hayu. It was Mishol and Eltzafin. Shayu Oiskin bin Nodav Avihu. They were busy with the avoid of burying Nodav Avihu who were nifter in the Mishkan. Maybe it's like Omer, says the Gemara. Im noisei arayna shel Yosef hayu. They could have already been mitayr. Im mishol ve'eltzafin hayu. Yechaylen hayu mitayr. They could have been mitayr. Ela oiskin b'meis mitzvah hayu. They were busy with mitzvah, with the meis mitzvah. Shechal shvi shelahem liyos be'erev Pesach. Okay. As the pasuk says, it's on that specific day that they go and do it. Okay. Now, again, so who are these people? We have to establish a timeline over here. Okay. Klal Yisrael at this point has not moved. We know in this week's parsha, Api Hashem Yachnu, Api Hashem Yisol. When Hashem said stop, they stopped. When Hashem said go, they went. So they haven't moved since Rosh Chodesh Iyar last year. Okay, so for 11 months they're in the same place. Who's touching Atzmais Yosef? Number one. Number two. So they were still Tamei from then. Number two, we know that on the day, the Gemara of Maseches Gittin tells us that on the day, well, before we get to the Gemara of Maseches Gittin, we have to know when did Nadav Avihu die, according to Rabbi Akiva. Right? Akiva says, it was Mishal ve'Eltzafin, it was being Isaac. in Nadav Avihu. When did Nadav Avihu die? When were they nifter? Very simple. Vayi b'yom hashmini. Right? It was on the 8th day. What? So we have to understand, what was it the 8th day of? Is it the 8th day of Nisan? The 8th day of what? So it's machlokes. We know that it's on the 8th day that Nadav Avihu died, but we're not sure if it's the 8th day of the Mishkan, 8th day from the Shiva, the beginning of the Shiva Yemei HaMiluim, 8th day of Nisan. What 8? B'yom hashmini of what? It says that when it came to Har Sinai, b'yom hashlishi b'yos haboker. B'yom hashlishi of what? It was Vav Sivan. What? Zion Sivan. What? What's b'yom hashlishi? It was on a Tuesday. Okay, say it. It's Zion. B'yom hashmini. What's shmini to what? Machlokes. But let's go with the Malbim. It says we can't name b'yom hashmini. Einonu yoidim im shmini leminyan. Im shmini lechodesh. Right? We know that there was the Shivas Yemei HaMiluim, and this might be the Shmini of it. It was that day that was the first day of Ma'aseh Bereshis, the day Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the first day of Ma'aseh Bereshis, the first of the Siyam, first of Kuhuna, first of Avodah, the first day that the Yeridas Ha'esh came down to start for the Karbanos, the first day that there was Achilas Kachim, the first day of Isser Habomis, that you can't bring private bomis outside the Beis Hamikdash, outside the Mishkan. The first day, the first Rosh Chodesh, right? We know the first Chodesh, Chodesh Hazeh Rosh Chodashim. It was the first day that the Shechina came and was with Klal Yisrael, and it was the first day that Klal Yisrael got bracha. That's the Gemara in Shabbos. I believe Gemara in Shabbos. Daf, Gemara. Okay, wherever that is. I don't have my written down here. We have, it's Gemara in Shabbos, Pei Ayin Zayin. Pei Zayin, Ayin Zayin. Sama sign. Okay, whatever the case is, it's Gemara in Shabbos that tells us that these 10 things were the firsts, and it all happened on the day Chanukas HaMishkan. Mashma, that's Rosh Chodesh Nisan, L'chayra, right? And the Ibn Ezra in Parshas Pekudei, where we have a pasuk, right? What does the pasuk say in Parshas Pekudei? Bayayim, right? It says Bayayim HaChodesh HaRishon Be'echad HaChodesh Bayayim HaRishon BeChodesh HaRishon Be'echad HaChodesh Tokim Es Mishkan Oyhel Moed. Right? It was on the first day of the first month that the Mishkan was standing. Says the Ramban, yeah, that what? What does the Ramban say? That it was the Shmini Lamelu. It was the 8th day from the beginning of the Yemei Shiva Yemei HaMiluim, because during the 7 days of the Shiva Yemei HaMiluim, what happened? They put up and took down the Mishkan every day. It was on Rosh Chodesh Nisan, mashma from this pasuk, that they put up the Mishkan, and it stayed up until they were told a couple of weeks later that it was time to move. Okay? Now Gemara Gittin tells us, Gittin Daf Samach tells us that Shmoyne Parshas Nemru B'Yoyim Shehukum Boy HaMishkan. Elohim. There was 8 things that were taught to us on the day that the Mishkan was put up. Parshas Kehanim, Parshas Leviim, it's a very busy day. Parshas Tameim, telling us what makes a person Tamei. Parshas Shiluach Tameim, the parsha that teaches us to send the Tamei out, Chutz LaMachane. Parshas Achrei Mos, important to remember that one. Parshas Shtuye Yayin, the parsha that talks about how a kohen who drinks wine can't do the avodah. Parshas Aneros, how to do be madlik the neros in the Mishkan. Parshas Para Aduma. It was on the day, the inaugural day of the Mishkan, that these 8 things were taught, besides for the Mishkan being opened up that day. Question, before we go a drop further, before we do that, the question, Rashi says, why do we need Parshas Para Aduma on Rosh Chodesh Nisan? Lefi shebiyom hamacharos, on the next day, Beis Nisan, Nisrufa haparo liyos nitaron lepeschem, so that they can all be mitar for the carbon pesach. Before now, they couldn't do it. Had to sprinkle it towards the oil mayed. There was no oil mayed before today. Okay? And this is what we mean. Okay? Question though. Why in the world on Rosh Chodesh Nisan are we learning about Achrei Mos, according to the Manda Amrin, that say that Nisas B'nai Aaron wasn't until Ches Nisan, that it was Shemini L'Chodesh Nisan? And how does Rashi work with that pshat? That it was Shemini L'Chodesh Nisan, and that's why they brought the carbon, the para, the next day, so that they'd be able to bring a carbon base. Nobody would have been able to bring a carbon base off that day. So it had to be Rosh Chodesh Nisan. Therefore, okay, and so we have a Gemara in Yerushalmi Megillah, Parak Gimel, Mishnah A, Halacha A, where the Mishnah tells us that on the 2nd week of Adar we read Zachar, on the 3rd week Para Aduma, and on the 4th week Achodesh Hazeh Lochem. And on the 5th week we go back to the regular Seder. Zakti Gemara, Levi B'Shem Rabbi Chama Bar Chanina says, Badin hu shetaktim achodesh lepara. But al pidin, we should really do achodesh before para. Why? It says the Gemara in Yerushalmi, in Maseches Megillah, Mishnah Hey, Parak Gimel Mishnah Hey, Shebe Echad ben Nisan hukam hamishkan. On the first day of Nisan, the Mishkan went up. Ubasheni nisrfa hapara, and on the 2nd day, the para was burnt. V'lama para kaidemes. Why? Shehitarasan al klal Yisrael. Because that's being the entire klal Yisrael. So, if we're going with that, And it was the first day of Nisan that they were opened the Mishkan. Okay, it was the first day we opened the Mishkan. Was the day we learned about Achim Moshe and Bnei Aaron. Means that was the day that the Bnei Aaron were nifter, and that was the day we learned about the halachas of Tumah, and that was the day that we learned that you have to send the Tameh out, and that was the day that we learned the halachas of Parah Aduma, and the very next day they brought the carbon, the Parah Aduma. So even according to Rabbi Yisrael Galili, says Rabbi Yitzchak, right? According to Rabbi Yisrael Galili, who says that it was the ones carrying Atzmei Siyasif, they haven't moved in 11 months. So they could be mitaher with the paraduma that's being brought on Beis Nisan. They'll get the Hazah on Gimel. They'll get the Hazah on Yud Beis. They're good. According to the Manda Omar, who says that it was Misha, according to Rabbi Kiva, that says Misha Vel Tzafin, because they were busy with Nadav Aviv. Nadav Aviv were nifter Aleph Nisan. Gimel, by Beis Nisan, there was a paraduma. They could have get their Hazahs 3 days later on Dalit, and then again on the 7th day. And they would have been clean for the Carbon Pesach. Who are we talking about? Who are we talking about that needs that's Tamei L'Nefesh Adam? The numbers are the same numbers that are counted in Parshas Nasi, and then they're counted again before Yom Kippur. So no one died. So what's going on? Who were they? Let's take back to the Gemara in Sukkah. Gemara in Sukkah. What does Rabbi Yitzchak say? Right? Well, before we get to what Rabbi Yitzchak says, the Sifri, just so you should know, right? The Rambam in Hilchos Parah Aduma tells us, Parak Yud Aleph, Halacha Beis, Misha Nitmam B'Meis. Somebody became Tamei with a mace. V'shoa Kama Yomim B'Lo Yahazor, and he waited a couple of days without getting sprinkled. Okay, so this guy, very good. So there was a Parah Aduma. It happened on Beis Nisan that the Parah Aduma was shechted, and it was slaughtered, and it was prepared, but this guy was waiting around. He has to count in front of Bezdin 3 days. Umazin alav. Then he gets the first sprinkling, Bashlishi. And then Bashvi'i on the 7th day, he gets another sprinkle, with Toivo Bashvi'i. And that's it. At the end of the evening, that's what? That's all it's done. So Bamed Var Mamurim, when does this halacha apply? That's Ba'ama Oretz, Shebola Hazos. That's an Ama Oretz that came to get the Paraduma. Shafilu Omar Hayoim Shlishi Shali, even if he says today is my 3rd day, Einoi Nemon. He's not trusted. Because Shema Hayom Nitman, maybe today he became Tamei. Lefikach Tzarech Lemanes Bifaneinu. That's why he has to count in front of Bezdin. Avachaver, but someone who's a Talmud Chacham, Shebola Hazais, and he comes for the Paraduma, Mazin Olav, he says, today is my 3rd day, we spray him right away. Oh yeah, Caleb Miyad. So you might think, okay, so there were a couple Amaratzim, even though there was a Paraduma that was there. And Allah brought the Paraduma and was ready to retire everybody. But these guys took their time because they're Amaratzim. Says the Sifri on the pasuk. Parak Tes pasuk Zayin. Vayomer Anoshim Hahema Elov. Magid Shohayu Bnei Adam Kisherim V'Charodim Ala Mitzvahs. They were very careful with their mitzvahs. So, who were these people at the end of the day? They're not the people who were carrying on Tzmis Yosef. They're not the people who were, right? Mishov al Tzafin, that were taking care of Nadav Avihu. And they're not Amaratzim lazing around like the Rambam refers to. They were Anoshim Kisherim. So let's go over that Gemara. Amar of Yitzchak. The Meis Mitzvah Netmo. They became Tamei for a Meis Mitzvah. But who died? Meaning, Hainu Shemeis Echad Min HaGeirim. One of the Geirim were nifter. Shehu Meis Mitzvah. He was a Meis Mitzvah. Ki Ein Loy Kroivim. He had no relatives. Shemechuyavim Litame Loy. You have to be Mitame for him. Right? And we know that in the Bavli, in Gemara Megillah, Gimel Lamed Beis, says, you have a guy who's going on his way to shecht a carbon pesach, v'limo les b'noi, and to give his son a bris milah, v'shama shemeis loy, meis. He heard that someone died. Yochel yitame, he could be mitame. Alright, lo yitame. Amat lo yitame. You say that the pasuk, right? The pasuk says in not to become tamei if you have to bring a carbon. So Yachal, I might think Kishim she'enei mitame la'achoisai, kach enei mitame l'meis mitzvah. I would think that just like he can't be mitame, we're talking about Kohen here. They can't be mitame to his sister, so too he can't be mitame for a meis mitzvah. Talmud loimer la'achoisai. V'la'achoisai. It's la'achoisai, it's his sister who they ain't mitame. Ava mitame l'meis mitzvah, he does be mitame to a meis mitzvah. So what we're learning out here is that who was it? Who are these people that are coming to Moshe Rabbeinu? They were people who dealt with a Tamei Meis, a Meis Mitzvah. They were dealing with a Meis Mitzvah, for a ger that wasn't counted, the Shvatim. That's why you don't know that he died. There wasn't numbers and less, right? That it was one of the gerim who were nifter and needed to be buried. Okay. Torah says we should do it. You're on your way to Shech the Karban Pesach. You hear that someone's made mitzvah, you go do it. The Orach Chaim on the pasuk says, "Ve'yu anoshim," right? You have to know who were these people. Because you have to understand that on the one hand, Hashem commanded on Rosh Chodesh that there's going to be Pesach, like we learn in the Gemara in Pesach and Davav. That's Vayasu B'nai Yisrael Pesach, right? And that was Rosh Chodesh Nisan. So Mina Roy, what he should have done, Hayalahim Lishtamer Mina Tumah. They should have stayed away from the Tumah. Says the Orach, no. They couldn't not get tummy. And it was that they had to do it. As the Megillah, Gemara Megillah says. But what are they asking Lomani Gara? When they get to the words Lomani Gara, what are they asking? So the Orach Chaim says, that's Tainus HaAnoshim b'Maimer Lomani Gara. You have to understand, what are they asking? Their answer is in their own mouth. Yanu, they said, Anachnu Temeim, we are Tamei. Umamivakshin. What do they want? Litin Lahem Torah Chadasha. They want we should give them a new Torah? Again, let's go through this timeline. On the very same day that we learned about the halachas of Para Aduma was the day we learned about Tumah. And that was only 2 weeks ago on Rosh Chodesh Nisan, the day that the Mishkan was brought. And they knew the halacha because it was taught to them fresh. So what do they want? A Torah Chadasha, a new Torah, these are the halachas of Tumah. You can't do it. So Chashvu, says the Arachayim,